Have you ever sat down with a piece of fish on your plate, feeling proud of yourself because you thought you were making a smart, heart-healthy choice, only to find out later that same meal may be quietly working against you? For millions of people over 60, this is the hidden trap. Here's the startling truth. Studies published in The Lancet in 2023 suggest that eating the wrong type of fish just twice a week can raise your risk of stroke and memory loss by as much as 70 to 80%. Imagine that. Something you believed was helping your brain and heart could instead be silently accelerating aging inside your body. And here's the nightmare the few people ever talk about. Most seniors are eating these wrong fish every single week, completely unaware. These aren't exotic, hard-to-find species either. They're the common, healthy choices lining grocery store shelves and restaurant menus. Fish loaded with mercury, hidden toxins, and inflammatory compounds that accumulate in your brain, your heart, even your joints. But before you swear off seafood forever, let me reassure you, there is good news. Studies from the Journal of Gerontology show that the right fish, eaten regularly, may actually lower your risk of Alzheimer's disease by up to 40%. The right fish can protect your arteries, preserve your memory, and even help slow down aging from the inside out. That's why in this video, I'm going to reveal the 4 worst fish you should never touch after 60, followed immediately by the 4 best fish you should eat more often if you want to stay sharp, strong, and independent. Stay with me until the end, because some of the fish you think are safe might actually shock you, and the healthy alternatives may surprise you even more. Worst fish number 4. Imported catfish. At first glance, catfish seems harmless. It's mild in flavor, easy to cook, and one of the cheapest fillets you'll find at the market. Many seniors think, well, it's budget-friendly and not fried fast food, so it must be a better choice. But if that catfish was imported, especially from overseas farms in parts of Asia, the reality is very different and potentially dangerous. Here's why. Many of these farms raise catfish in overcrowded ponds where disease spreads rapidly. To keep the fish alive, they pump the water full of antibiotics. The problem is, those antibiotics don't just disappear. They stay in the flesh of the fish, and when you eat it, they end up inside your body. Now, if you're over 60, your immune system is already working harder than it used to. Adding a constant stream of antibiotic residue into your body can actually make real medications less effective when you need them most. It's like trying to fight a fire with a hose that suddenly sprays only a trickle of water. Your defenses are weakened before the battle even begins. But antibiotics are only the beginning. Independent tests have discovered residues of banned carcinogens and toxic chemicals in imported catfish, pollutants absorbed directly from the dirty waters where they're raised. Mercury, lead, and other heavy metals build up slowly in your tissues. For younger adults, the body might push some of this out. But after 60, your detox systems are less efficient. Over time, this toxic buildup can quietly increase your risk of kidney damage, nerve problems, and even cancer. There's one more hidden danger: inflammation. Imported catfish are often fed unnatural diets packed with corn and soy. This creates a dangerous imbalance. Far too much omega-6 fat, and almost no omega-3. Why does that matter? Omega-6 in excess is like lighter fluid for inflammation. For anyone struggling with arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune issues, eating this fish is like pouring gasoline on a fire that's already burning. And the sad part? Imported catfish doesn't even give you much in return. Compared to safer fish, it offers lower quality protein and almost none of the brain and heart protective nutrients you expect from seafood. The good news? Not all catfish is bad. Domestically raised catfish in the United States follow much stricter regulations. When farmed under cleaner conditions, they avoid many of the antibiotic and chemical concerns of imported varieties. So, if catfish is one of your favorites, make sure it's domestic only. Worst fish, number 3, tuna. For decades, tuna has been marketed as the poster child of healthy eating. It's lean, high in protein, and comes conveniently packed in cans. From tuna salad sandwiches to tuna pasta, it's been a staple in American kitchens for generations. But here's the hidden danger. For people over 60, tuna can quietly turn from a healthy choice into a silent threat. The problem is mercury. Think of mercury like a heavy backpack that tuna carry around throughout their lives. Larger species such as albacore, white tuna, and big-eye live long lives at the top of the food chain. They feast on smaller fish year after year, and with every meal, they store more mercury inside their bodies. By the time that tuna lands on your plate, it's loaded with toxins you can't see, smell, or taste. Now here's why that's especially concerning for seniors. As we age, our detox systems, our liver and kidneys, slow down. That means mercury doesn't leave your body as efficiently as it once did. Instead, it lingers. It lodges itself in your brain and nervous system, where over time, it can trigger memory loss, confusion, mood swings, tremors, and even symptoms that look like early dementia. And it's not just the brain. Mercury also disrupts the electrical rhythms of the heart. That can mean irregular heartbeats and a higher risk of heart attack, problems you definitely don't want to fuel with your diet. In fact, research published in JAMA Neurology found that seniors with higher mercury levels from frequent tuna consumption had up to a 65% greater risk of cognitive decline. Here's the scary part. Just 2 servings of albacore or big-eye tuna per week can push you over the safe limit of mercury exposure. And most people have no idea. Even canned tuna, which many assume is harmless, carries risks. While light tuna, usually skipjack, is lower in mercury, it's not mercury-free, and seniors who eat it several times a week are still stacking up exposure. So, what's the solution? Do you have to avoid tuna forever? Not necessarily. If you truly love it, choose canned light tuna only and keep it to no more than once or twice a month. But here's the truth. There are safer, cleaner fish out there that give you the same protein and omega-3 benefits without slowly poisoning your system. Worst fish number 2. King mackerel. Mackerel can be confusing. On one hand, nutrition experts often praise it for being rich in omega-3s. On the other hand, there's a darker side. One variety is so dangerous that the FDA and EPA recommend seniors, children, and pregnant women avoid it completely. That fish is king mackerel. Here's why it's a problem. King mackerel is a large, long-lived predator. The longer a fish lives and the higher it sits in the food chain, the more toxins it accumulates. Think of it like a sponge. Year after year, it soaks up mercury from the smaller fish it eats. By the time it reaches your plate, its mercury levels can be among the highest of any commonly eaten fish. For people over 60, this is especially concerning. Mercury is a heavy metal that directly attacks your nervous system. Seniors already face more fragile nerve cells, slower detox systems, and higher risks of memory loss. Add mercury into the mix, and it's like pouring acid on aging wires. The result? Brain fog, tremors, difficulty concentrating, mood swings, and even depression. All symptoms that too often get dismissed as normal aging. But the danger doesn't stop at the brain. Mercury also damages the inner lining of blood vessels and disrupts the electrical signaling in your heart. If you're already managing high blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or heart disease, eating king mackerel is like throwing fuel on a fire. And here's the tricky part. Many grocery stores or restaurants simply label their fish as mackerel. Unless you ask specifically, you may have no idea whether you're eating the safe kind, like Atlantic or Spanish mackerel, or the dangerous kind, king mackerel. To make it crystal clear, health authorities place king mackerel on the absolute do not eat list for older adults. Worst fish number 1, farmed tilapia. Tilapia is one of the most popular fish in America. It's cheap, widely available, and often promoted as a healthy, low-fat protein. But here's the harsh reality. Farmed tilapia may be one of the worst choices for seniors over 60. Why? Most farmed tilapia come from overcrowded ponds or cages where fish are literally swimming in their own waste. To keep them alive in these filthy conditions, farmers rely on heavy doses of antibiotics, pesticides, and antifungal chemicals. These residues don't just vanish, they accumulate in the fish. The feed given to tilapia is often unnatural. Cheap fillers like corn, soy, and in some cases even chicken waste. This creates one of the most imbalanced omega fatty acid profiles of any food. Instead of the ideal 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, tilapia can reach 11-to-1. That imbalance fuels inflammation, worsening arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. And it gets worse. Studies have found farmed tilapia contaminated with dioxins, toxic industrial pollutants that can linger in your body for years, linked to cancer and immune suppression. Nutritionally, tilapia doesn't give you much in return. It's low in omega-3s, selenium, and vitamin B12, nutrients that protect your heart, brain, and energy. So not only are you taking in toxins, you're missing out on benefits. The bottom line, farmed tilapia is essentially junk food from the sea. If you want to protect your memory, your joints, and your heart after 60, it's best to leave tilapia off your plate altogether. Best fish number 4, wild-caught Pacific cod. Cod may look simple, a plain white fillet, but it's a quiet powerhouse. A single serving delivers 40 grams of high-quality protein while staying low in calories and fat. That's huge for seniors fighting sarcopenia, the muscle loss that threatens independence. Cod is also rich in selenium, which protects your cells from oxidative stress, supports thyroid health, and strengthens your immune system. It delivers vitamin B12 to keep your nerves sharp, and phosphorus to keep your bones strong. Unlike predator fish, Pacific cod live shorter lives in clean Alaskan waters, making them naturally lower in mercury. They're easy to digest, mild in flavor, and versatile in the kitchen. Best fish number 3, sardines. Tiny but mighty, sardines are nutritional giants. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids that fight inflammation, protect your arteries, and support your brain. Studies show seniors who eat sardines at least twice a week enjoy better heart health, mobility, and mood stability. Sardines also provide rare amounts of vitamin D, plus calcium and phosphorus from their edible bones, perfect for protecting against fractures and osteoporosis. They're rich in vitamin B12 for memory and nerve function, and because they feed on plankton, they carry almost no mercury. Affordable, shelf-stable, and versatile, sardines may be one of the simplest longevity hacks in your pantry. Best fish number 2, wild-caught Alaskan salmon. If there's a superfood of the sea, this is it. Salmon is loaded with EPA and DHA omega-3s, the very fats your brain and heart crave. Seniors with higher DHA levels have been shown to have larger brain volumes and better memory. Salmon's omega-3s reduce inflammation, protect arteries, and ease stiff joints. It's also rich in high-quality protein to combat muscle loss. And its pink-orange color comes from astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that protects your skin, eyes, and endurance. Wild Alaskan salmon is safer than farmed, free from the antibiotics and PCBs that plague farmed fish. Cook it gently, bake, steam, or grill to preserve its nutrients. Best fish, number 1, rainbow trout. Finally, rainbow trout, a fish that combines the benefits of salmon, cod, and sardines in one clean package. Raised in regulated freshwater systems, rainbow trout is safe from mercury and pollutants. It delivers about 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s per serving, plus potassium for blood pressure, phosphorus for bones, iron for energy, and zinc for immune health. Add in niacin to balance cholesterol, vitamin B12 for nerves, and vitamin E for cell protection. And you've got one of the most complete nutrient profiles of any fish. With its mild flavor and easy digestibility, trout is a practical, delicious choice for seniors who want both taste and health benefits. Conclusion. So there you have it, the truth about fish after 60. Some species can silently damage your heart, brain, and joints. But others can nourish every cell, protect your memory, and help you age stronger. Every meal is a choice. You can fuel decline, or you can fuel longevity. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start small, swap one danger fish for one healing fish. Add 1 or 2 servings of the right seafood each week, and watch how those choices add up. At It's better health. We believe aging doesn't have to mean decline. With the right decisions, your best years can still be ahead of you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed health tips. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What fish do you eat most often? And after learning this, will you be changing your plate? Drop your answers in the comments. I read and reply to as many as I can. Here's to eating smarter, aging stronger, and living longer.